Let me pull. Okay, so my plan is I just have my phone on airplane mode, so it's idiot-proof for distractions, and I have a list of prompts.
When did you make that up?
Sorry?
When did you make that up?
The list of prompts.
Yeah.
I've been collecting them for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, shit.
Since the start of the Albany trip, where I'm like, I gotta write some of this shit down, otherwise I won't remember it. I spent first 45 minutes of the car ride, the motorcycle ride down here.
So, yeah, do you want to talk to me about your Albany trip?
Yeah, man. It's like show and tell.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little bit of an echo. Anyway. Yeah, feeling rested, refreshed. It's a pretty good time. It's a flying trip down, just sitting on Albany Highway. It's a long drive.
You just went straight there, right?
Well, we went past Bluff Knoll. We overshot, went to Mount Barker. So we're like, someone didn't pack their lunch. So I'm like, God, fuck.
Was that you?
Come on. No, I prepared everything. I'm like, hey, man, organize your own food prior to the trip. And he was like, yeah, all right, I got this. And we're like 3 hours into the 4-hour drive. And he's like, oh, what are we going to do for lunch? I'm like, what's with this wee shit, dude? What are you going to do for lunch?
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to go shopping. I'm like, fuck. So we had to overshoot.
Very organised.
Overshoot the Stirling range and then go back out. Although it was a pretty cool road out the back there, of which the speed limit was adhered to 100% of the time.
All the time.
All the time. Every single second of that, we were doing under 110 for sure. But
so what actually
allegedly
happened in Albany, though? So you've told me about climbing Bluff Knoll.
Yeah,
and
that was pretty
the
funny.
memes that happened there.
Climbing halfway up the wall. Sorry, getting halfway up and it breaking old mate. And then
later on he rocks up. You're like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
teenagers passed him. He harnessed the power of hate. So yes, after the mountain hurt everyone's feelings. It's not much of a mountain for anyone that's like not actually from WA, which is most people in the world. It's like 1,000 meters above sea level, the top of it. You start at like
it's not a big
300. It's like 700 meters elevation, and it's like the second largest mountain in WA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty flat state. Is it Mount Meharry that's the taller one?
I think so. That's up north, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, way, like, might as well be on Mars up north. But, yeah, that's funny that we just have a mountain named Mount Meharry. So we climbed Bluff Knoll. We had, basically, old mate slept in the passenger seat. I've done all the driving. He just, like, tapped out and went to sleep. But anyway, we eventually got into Albany. We got into the caravan park. The caravan park was depressing.
Why?
It was grim. There was just like normal sort of like seaside Australian town, just like palm trees and the same caravan park type infrastructure that was built in the 70s. It's just never been upgraded. It was Sunday night, so it wasn't even a weekend. So we were about the youngest people by, I don't know, 2 decades for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Median age, like average age in there, like 65 for sure. There was just, not the normal sort of crowd that the lads would go on a holiday for, but did get to drink beers on the beach, which is pretty cool. We were in a tent site next to some old lady who was like, "Oh, you guys staying here?" And we're like, "No, we just pulled up and we were going to set up our swag in our tent for an evening nap, and then we were going to move." And no, of course, we're setting up the tent site here, Jesus. We didn't say that. We were like, yeah, please don't extend this conversation any more than we have to. She was like, the powered bit already fell over once, so just be careful when you plug your stuff into it. And we're like, okay, lady, we'll try not to damage property.
Mm-hmm.
It was the strangest interaction. She just sort of looked at us a lot of the time. Again, we were like the youngest people by 20 years. It's weird going into a caravan park. It's not like I'm some Adonis figure for attractiveness, but like it's definitely in the running for most attractive dude in the caravan park, which is not normally something that I'm involved in, but I'm like, damn, this is bumming me out.
So you stayed there a night, or
2 nights. So that first night we were like,
just travelled from
we
there.
we brought a bunch of beer and we were like, yeah, it's going to be good. And then we did, it's like a 1,500 calorie workout to get up and down the mountain because we're so unfit. So we basically just like set up the tents, had one beer, went to sleep. Not very exciting. Got up the next morning. Old mate wanted to watch the Super Bowl. You know, like Australians all over the country do.
No, I don't think so.
No, that was sarcasm.
On a camping trip.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, there was like, I went to this, I wouldn't say secluded, but like relatively remote beach and like went for a snorkel, did some yoga, fucking sat in the rock and got some sunlight, got my vitamin D exposure, which is good. Didn't burn that day, although I probably deserved to. Oh, not even that early in the morning. It was like 8 to 9:30. I was hanging out there, so like beginning to hit the front end of potential UV danger territory.
No, that skyrockets.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was one of like, I took some photos, like saw lots of fish. Dude, those King George Sound whiting. Ooh, they are some healthy looking whiting out there. You always see nice fish when you don't have your gun on you or a fishing rod or anything. It's just like bare hands and fins, and you're like, look at all those tasty looking little shits.
Where would you put it though? You didn't have a bucket or anything.
No, exactly. Like I had none of the infrastructure to actually take one home.
With it. Yeah.
They were like a foot long and just like 6-7 centimeters in diameter. They were thick dudes. Like that's a meal. It's not just half a meal because whiting are generally disappointing in serving size. But yeah, saw all sorts of things. No rays. So like wrasse. Yes, that was good. Meanwhile, old mate sat in his tent heating up in the morning sun watching the Super Bowl. Yeah, we ended up going and seeing old mate's family while we were down there. That was pretty funny. He just got roasted by elderly family members. Who were like, why aren't you doing anything?
Oh,
get a job. Yeah, get a job.
Wait, how did they know about it? Did he just say?
I have no idea how she knew about it, but she was like, oi, get her job. Old mates was like, well, this is not as much of a fun holiday. So we got really drunk that night.
How to get over being bullied.
Yes.
Just get drunk.
Just drink your problems away. Works every time. With no adverse side effects or long-term health consequences.
Mm. Bloody hell.
This is an endorsed message. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. That's official policy.
So what else happened then?
Not much. Like the next morning we got up hungover and then had to drive back to Perth. There were some characters in that caravan park. Like there was the second night we were sitting there having a couple of beers, getting judged by like this old bloke who's was just like apparently lived there or something. He had one of the like permanent dwellings in the caravan park. He would just like sit with a beer out the front and like stare at you as if you couldn't tell that he was staring, and then like he'd talk. He was like, oh yeah, the young blokes have been there 2 nights, and we're like, bro, we can hear you. Stop being, just let us holiday in peace, my guy.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, right?
Was he in charge of the park or something?
No, he was just fucking king of the hill
weird.
or some shit. Not actually an employee, just like hanging out there
in
and
this area?
passing
Pay your
judgment.
respects.
It's like, what are 2 young dudes doing here on a Monday night in not school holidays? Well, yeah, in not peak holiday season or school holidays.
Yeah, but you're not kids either.
No,
Especially
we're not
if you're
kids,
traveling
but
on your own.
just 2 dudes hanging out at the cheapest caravan park ever. Yeah, they're one of the greatest characters. Besides that, the first lady who had the adjacent tent site, or like diagonally adjacent tent site, and old mate just running around, was this lady who rolled up in a Mazda 3 towing a caravan. Like a small caravan, but still in a like sedan Mazda, like 2001 Mazda 3. This is a pretty good little setup, like if you're just gonna cruise around and not do anything. It was an odd choice. She was a character. She thought I was wearing a Bunnings hat, so she asked for me for like directions to the site. Apparently Bunnings hat means caravan site employee, even though I'm in like board shorts and a fishing shirt.
Caravan site, Bunnings, same thing, dude. Just show her where.
Just gone for a piss, coming back,
Show
and
her
she's
where the
like,
batteries
"Do you
are,
know
dude."
where the numbers are for these?" And I'm like, "What?" I don't. Let me pass in peace. Yeah, she set up the caravan and then had a bunch of candles inside and was just like reading by candlelight in her caravan. But she had a gazebo set up out the front of it, which we didn't ever see her sit under. She also put out 2 chairs. She was traveling alone and just put out 2 camp chairs. So it's not like I have to put the chairs somewhere. No, she had to take them out of their bags and fold them out. Consciously setting up for 2 people, even though she was the only one traveling. She didn't socialize with anyone.
Could be waiting for someone.
Why would you be there by yourself?
I don't know. Unless you've invited someone and like they said, "Oh,
Get
might
stood
not
up.
show up." Yeah, well, that can happen too. But I don't know. You don't know
Get
the
stood up
circumstances.
going to a caravan park in Albany. To your caravan.
But you know, people are odd.
But people are odd. That was the lesson of this trip. People are, in fact, strange. Yeah, Albany is an elderly population. That's the lesson.
Well, there's an old town.
Weird elderly population.
Makes sense.
Love them to death. Great people. Everyone would just come up and go, "Oh, how's the water?" It's good. And I'd be like, "Warm for Albany." And I just got to like dial in that punchline about with just making old people chuckle all afternoon. It's like holding court as everyone came past and were like, "Oh yeah, how's the water?" Trying to come up with a funnier and funnier response. Warm for Albany is the best I got. I didn't try that hard. We also, yeah, just like beers on the beach. Pretty sick. Again, took some cool photos because there's like the shipping lane in and out of the Port of Albany there that you can see go out into the ocean. Staring across the bay at Bald Head and going, if only I wasn't critically unfit, I could have also done that hike too. But we'll do that in July when we go down there.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Sure.
Smash it out, mate.
Every single time I've been down that way. Like, yeah, we'll do Bald Head. Not completed it once yet. Which is a shame. I think I did when I was like 8, but it's part of a family camping trip. But I don't remember that because that was a long time ago now. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Get all the way to the end because we've got like halfway and then run out of time.
Yeah, because
When you're camping with the boys, you really got to be like, it gets to 2 o'clock. You still got 2 hours to walk back, and you're like, if we continue this fitness bullshit, it's really going to cut into the drinking time, and we're going to have a lovely steak dinner, and yeah. So we chose steak dinner and way too much whiskey over actually completing something worth doing. Yeah, Russell's Steakhouse was good.
That was good.
It's a great little.
It's a good way to end the trip.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing like getting breathalyzed in that parking spot in the Turbo Liberty with the exhaust. Just feel like, "Hi, officer. We're all sober. We swear."
Please don't hurt me. There's
like
4 of us, 5 of us in the back.
Green P plates on. Just like blokes crammed into this barely road legal car, and they're like, "We would like to breath test you. You fucking don't even think about parking. We'll come to you. Like, you're not getting out of this." It was weird that they did it in like the one-way parking area, so we had to like get breath tested, then go back around and just pull up right in front of them and park. It's like that's where we wanted to go anyway, but we couldn't reverse up the line because there were other cars to be breathalyzed.
Yeah, do you like how we're like 50 metres from our destination too?
Yeah.
It just had to happen.
It was at like 5 p.m. Who's going out to a restaurant getting so drunk that
I
at
don't
5
know.
p.m. they then need to leave the
What
car
day
park?
was it? Was it a Saturday or something?
Yeah,
Or a
maybe.
Friday?
But again, who goes to...
I don't know. And in Albany of all places too.
Yeah. Also, the way they'd set it up is you could distinctly
It is
see
an
them
odd
from a
spot.
distance. So if you were drunk and you were about to leave the car park and drive home, you'd just be like, maybe I just wait that one out rather than just walk straight into a trap. That'd be like looking at a mousetrap and being like, I wonder if it's on, and poking it with your finger.
Yeah. I wonder if it's ready to snap me shut.
License gone. Yeah.